Radhe Radhe. Dandavat Pranam. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vino Bihari Mandir. Shri Shri RadhaRaman Mandir.
Jayo.
Gopinath.
What?
I said Gopinath.
What?
Shri Vrindavan Dham.
Jayo.
Srila Gurudev ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupa Anuga Gaudiya Guru Varga ki jai. Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Radha Vino Bihari Ju ki jai. RadhaRaman Ju ki jai. Tadiya Avirbhav Maha Mahotsav ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Harinam Sankirtana ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Shri Madhavendra Puri ki jai. Shri Srinivas Acharya ki jai. Shri Parameshwari Thakur ki jai. Who else's day is it? I already said RadhaRaman, didn't I?
Srinivas, Madhavendra Puri,
Parameshwari Thakur.
Yeah.
Yes, RadhaRaman Ju ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bo.
Jayo.
Jai Jai RadhaRaman Radha Radha. Yes, Nandini, it was for your Radha Gopinath.
Okay.
And we were wondering about this little lion from yesterday. Now we've got all these plans for Ram Nomi, his bow, and how he's going to be dressed for that. And
He
we're
needs to play dress up.
how is he going to dress up for Vaman Dev?
Karen Copen.
Oh no. What's his name? So we were thinking, how are we going to dress him up as Vaman avatar, Matsya avatar, Kurma avatar? He's going to have a really cool bow when he's Ram. So, and even yesterday when Sudevi posted the picture of him with his beautiful lion's mane made of flowers. Who was it? Saheli Datta? She posted that beautiful quote from Srila Rupa Goswami about how Krishna's bedtime story, yes, it was his bedtime story, was the story of Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan. He became so excited.
He smiled when he came out of the pillar.
Yeah, Krishna was like,
I like this part. The name,
Okay.
guys? Yeah.
I hope I pronounced it correctly. Yves?
Yeah.
No, you don't pronounce the S if you're from Belgium or France.
Okay. So we will say a prayer for your friend.
Okay.
And also we're going to do the birthday blessings for Yamuna Prasad and Krishna Priya Mataji because we missed it yesterday. And also the flowers once again.
Some of you were there, but we weren't able to really gather the devotees enough. The whole point of these blessings is that all of the Vaishnavas together can give those blessings. And so we would like to do it again with all of your blessings. Thank you, Rudra Prabhu.
And also the flowers are again from Sonam, and they're in honor of her friend Swati, who left last week. So just reminding everyone.
Okay. And so everyone please keep...
My bedtime story too.
Oh yeah, we grew up with the story of Narasimhadev Bhagavan, and although it was quite frightening, it was so exciting. Hiranyakashipu was scary actually. But Lord Nrsimhadev, when he would come, we were so excited. Yesterday Sudevi and I were reflecting when we were young, quite young, we lived on the same street, Watsika Avenue, and they did a drama of Narasingha Leela. And at that time, it was the first time we saw them use strobe lights in a drama. And they also used fake blood and other things like plastic bags and artificial guts and things like that. So as we were watching the fighting, the stage was out kind of near the street, but it was all dark outside and everyone was sitting there. And during the fighting, they did it in slow motion with the strobe lights, so it just had this very real appearance. And I think Parikshit Prabhu, he's one of the painters for Srila Prabhupada. He was playing the role of Lord Nrsingadev, and Sridham, I believe it was Sridham, our godbrother in Hawaii, he was playing Hiranyakashipu. And it was so realistic. It left a very strong, lasting impression within us. We both were like, it wasn't so, it was quite intense. And so it left a very amazing impression. But we grew up listening to the Narasimhadev story for many, many years, every night. So it was quite exciting for us. Okay, so we will begin with Mangalacarana, calling for the grace, the mercy, the presence, the sidelong glances of our beloved Gurudev, our beloved Srila Prabhupada, our beloved Rupanuga Guru Varga, Patit Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu, Prem Purushottam Sachinandan Gaura Hari, that is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, going all the way back to the original Guru, who is Krishna himself, and his Guru of Prem, Vrishabhanunandini, Srimati Radha Rani. As he says in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Rudragupta Prabhu has posted, Radhikar Prema Guru Ami Shishya Nata. Radhika is my Guru of Prem, and I am her dancing pupil. She makes me dance according to her tune. So we will call out to all of them in the form of our Mangalacharan, which is present within this beautiful bhajan treasure trove, Shri Gauriya Giti Gucha on page 1. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutapada Kamalam. I believe Jiva Pavana Prabhu. Maybe I believe wrong. He did? Okay. I don't see it. Jiva Pavana Prabhu has posted the Mangalacharan. So we will begin with this Mangalacharan. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurung Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parjana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitangscha Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Shri Mad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namine Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audarya Madhurya Gunaischa Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tvang Shirashan Namami Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabjidataika Hriddi Chaitanya Leelamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tvang Satatam Prapadye Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय गौरप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्री श्रीमद्भक्तिप्रज्ञान केशवयतिनामिने अतिमर्त्यचरित्राय स्वश्रितानां च पालिने जीवदुःखे सदरताय श्रीनाम प्रेमदायिने नम ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिसिद्धान्त सरस्वती इति नामिने श्रीवर्षभानवी देवी दयिताय कृपाब्धये कृष्णसम्बन्धविज्ञान दयिने प्रभवे नमः माधुर्योज्ज्वलप्रेमाध्य श्रीरूपानुगभक्तिदा श्रीगौरकरुणाशक्ति विग्रहाय नमोऽस्तु ते नमस्ते गौरवाणी श्रीमूर्तये दिनतारिणे रूपानुगविरुधाप सिद्धान्तध्वन्तहारिणे नमो गौरकिशोराय साक्षाद्वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भरसम्बोधे पदाम्बुजायते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगव्वरायते गौराविर्भावभूमेस्त्वं निर्देष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णवः सर्वभौम श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतौ पङ्गुर्मम मन्दं मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदाम्बोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यद्वृन्दारण्यकल्पद्रुमद श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्री श्रीराधा श्रीलगोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठानिभिः सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्द्रसरसारम्भी वंशिवत्ततस्थितः कार्षन्वेणुस्वनैर्गोपीर्गोपीनाथ श्रियैस्तु नः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकम् जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावाग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं Vidyavadhu Jivanam Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Purnamritashwadanam Sarvatma Snapanam Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam Harer Nama Harer Nama Harer Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nastyeva 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 Gatiranyatha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Dandava Pranam all Vaishnavas. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma, and Rudra Prabhu, you asked a question. Of course, I'll speak something about RadhaRaman and also about Madhavendra Puri and Srinivas Acharya. And today's Parameshwari Thakur's day. Also today is Chandra Grahan. And some other pastimes as well. So Chandra Grahan means the lunar eclipse. It is a total lunar eclipse during the closest that the moon is to the earth, and also what they call a blood moon. And so during an eclipse, it is recommended by our acharyas and our shastras that we should only be doing devotional activities, especially kirtan or anything devotional, and not doing anything else. Not eating, not cooking, not drinking water, not going to the bathroom, not walking around outside or doing anything. Just fully absorbing our energy, our minds, our attention on the glories of Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, associates, like that. So, Krishna Premavati, you know that answer. The picture is non-different from the original. So in this case, he is not a copy. He is him. So our Srila Gurudev said that at the time of the eclipse, we were there during a solar eclipse in Gopinath Bhavan, one Kartik. And Gurudev told us that we should all remain there, that we shouldn't go anywhere, we shouldn't go outside, we should not go to the toilet, we should not eat or drink anything, we should only stay there. And although it was the time for Harikatha, he wanted us to be engaging in Kirtan. So he was there presiding. We were there for at least an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and he told Krishnadas to stand up, and Krishnadas stood up in the middle of 1,000 devotees and led Kirtan for that whole duration of time. Srila Gurudev explained that at the time of the eclipse, well, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, here's an interesting story. So according to Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is historical, after the demigods and demons churned the ocean of milk, they used Vasuki with Mount Meru on the back of Kurma avatar, and they were churning it to get Somaras. Huh?
Isn't that so cool?
They were churning it to get Somaras, or the nectar of immortality. But from that same churning, so many wonderful things manifested, and also some very what is the opposite of wonderful? Very dark and unpleasant things, like the poison which Lord Shiva took in his throat. So we already spoke about that the other day. So what happened was, the demigods and demons began to basically fight over this Somaras. So Lord Vishnu manifested that beautiful form of Mohini Murti, which is interesting because we just had Mohini Ekadashi. And manifesting this beautiful form of Mohini, she said, I will deliver it, you let me choose. So they were all just looking at her going, wow. And she was walking up and down the aisles, and she decided to choose to give it to the demigods first. Well, there was one demon who escaped. His name was Rahu. He went and hid on the side of the demigods, made himself look like one of the demigods, and he was sitting among them. as he was receiving the somaras, it had come in his mouth only up to this far, and the sun and moon gods, Surya and Chandra, said, "Hey, that's not a demigod, that's a demon." Immediately Mohini Murti took her chakra and beheaded this Rahu. Needless to say, because the nectar of immortality had already passed through his head into his throat this much, that part remained immortal, but the rest of it fell down dead. So this Rahu is jealous and envious and angry at the sun god and the moon god, and periodically endeavors, as a demon would, to devour them. This is what the eclipse is on the Bhagavatam explanation. From a scientific explanation, you will see that it is the earth between the sun and the moon, or the moon between the sun and the earth. Yes. So from different perspectives, people will see it in different ways. But this is the Bhagavatam history of these eclipses. So Rahu is endeavoring to swallow the sun or swallow the moon out of anger. And so that anger is very extreme. And because of that, Srila Gurudev said, it could be that basically everything that we know could cease to exist. If the sun were to be removed or the moon were to be removed, we also, in essence, would be removed. So at that time, he said, it is quite dangerous. Everything could change in a moment. And so he said, when you have that imminent danger present, then definitely, especially if you know it's there, you should be fully concentrated on the Yuga Dharma. So he engaged us all in Kirtan at that time. So for us, it started at 2:17 in the afternoon and will go to about 7:15 or 7:17 this evening. So that is our time. So interesting about this solar and lunar eclipses, although they're inauspicious times, that causes so many to do extra auspicious activities. Like at the time of the appearance of Sri Sachinandan Gaurahari, what happened? It was a full moon lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipse on the full moon. And what happened? All the, you could say, Sanatan, I don't think they had the term Hindu back then. Hindu's a new term. All of those who were followers of Sanatan Dharma, they were bathing in the Ganga at that time, because Ganga is transcendental, purifying and spiritual, and they were all chanting the names of Hari. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. And even those who were not Sanatan, followers of Sanatan Dharma, meaning the Muslims and others, they were even joking and mocking and making fun of those who were chanting the names of the Lord. And they were like, oh, look at these chanting Hari Bol, like that. And so at that time, the entire area was resounding with the chanting of Hari, Hari, Hari Bol. And that is when Sachinandan Gaurahari manifested in this world like the moon rising from the ocean. Shachigarbha Sindo Harindu. So, also we know that at the time of the solar eclipse, the Brajbasis knew that there was going to be a solar eclipse, so they also wanted to do something very auspicious. And so they all decided to go to this special sacred place known as Kurukshetra. So going to that special place, Kurukshetra, some stayed back, but so many were so eager to see Krishna because also he was going to Kurukshetra for that solar eclipse. And that is when Viyogini Radhika met with that Krishna. And of course our Ratha Yatra festival represents those gopis and Srimati Radhika bringing Krishna back to Vrindavan on the chariot of their hearts with the ropes of their love and affection from there, from Kurukshetra or from Dwarka to Vrindavan. So it is at the same time inauspicious and also very auspicious if we do auspicious things during that time. So there's some eclipse tattva. But Gurudev told us, don't even go to the bathroom, don't cook, don't do anything. And they even recommend that one should bathe after an eclipse. It's almost like seeing a dead body. the same kind of thing. So doing everything auspicious, but even though you're doing kirtan during that time, right? When there's a dead body, you accompany that to the ghat, the burning ghat. You're doing kirtan, then you burn the body, you put the ashes in the holy river, then you go and bathe yourself. So this is also like that. So there's inauspicious influence, you counteract it with the ultimate auspicious thing. What is the ultimate auspicious thing? Harinam. Glorifying Krishna's names, forms, qualities, pastimes, and pure devotees. And so today is also the day of so many pure devotees, especially Sri Madhavendra Puri Srinivas Acharya, Parameshwari Thakur, and of course the Lord himself, in the form of this, the heart of his pure devotee, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri RadhaRaman. RadhaRaman Ju Ki Jai. Okay, Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sadma, Bandomui Sabhana Mate. And we pray that we don't have difficulty today with the connections. I updated everything. Hopefully it will work. We apologize for yesterday. It was a great, great disappointment to us. But anyhow, Hiranyakashipu was very thoroughly dispatched of by the beautiful nails of Sri Narasimhadev Bhagavan and Prahlad Maharaj. He was rescued from the hands of his demonic father, and he was given complete shelter at the feet of the Lord. So Prahlad Maharaj was completely pacified and happy to be able to always serve the Lord. Thank you, Anjali. I was completely smitten with the little baby Gopal here, the way he looked. He had a little, like, you know when kids wear those little face masks with the animals prints? So he had his little face mask with the lion print, and he had his flower mane, which looked amazing. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakti Sadma, Vandomui Sabdhan Mate. Page 28 by Srila Narottam Das Thakur. Janardam Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam, welcome. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sadama. Shri Guru Charana Padma, Kevala Bhakati Sadama. Bandomui Savadhano Mate. Bandomui Savadhano Mate. Bandomui Savadhano Mate. Bandomui Savadhano Mate. Jaharo Prashade Bhai He Bhavato Riyajai. Jaharo Prashade Bhai He Bhavato Riyajai. Krishna Prapti Hoi Jaha Hoite. Krishna Prapti Hoi Jaha Hoite. Krishna prapti hoy jaha hoite Guru mukha Padma vakyo chitte koriya aityo 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 Arna kori ho mane asha 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 Shri Guru charane rati aise uttamagati Shri Guru charane rati aise uttamagati Jai prasade pure sarva asha 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 Chakudan dilo je janme janme prabhu se Chakudan dilo je janme janme prabhu se Divya gyan hriday prakashito Divya gyan hriday prakashito Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate Prema bhakti jaha hoite avidya vinasha jate Vede gai jaharo charito Vede gai jaharo charito Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janaro Bandhu Shri Guru Karuna Sindhu Adhama Janaro Bandhu Lokanatha Lokera Jivana Lokanatha Lokera Jivana Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deho More Pado Chaya Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deho More Pado Chaya Tua Pade Loinu Sharana Tua Pade Loinu Sharana Ebe Jashaku Shukri Bhumana Ebe Jashaku Shukri Bhumana Guru Deva Pati Pavana Guru Deva Pati Pavana Prabhupada Pati Pavana Prabhupada Pati Pavana Ha ha Prabhu Koro Doya Deha More Pado छाया आहा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद छाया गुरुदेव जे गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव जय प्रभुपाद 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 गुरु परंपरा गुरु परंपरा गुरु परंपरा गुरु परंपरा गुरु परंपरा गुरु परंपरा परंपरा गुरु परंपरा श्रील गुरुदेव की जय श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय रूपानुग गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय श्री गुरु परंपरा की जय. As I was singing that Jai Gurudev Jai Prabhupada, I was remembering what I read from Srila Gurudev today about the qualifications of Shri Guru, and so in that deep remembrance of that, I forgot to sing Jai Guru Parampara, but anyhow, we caught it. Now we will call for the mercy, grace of the Vaishnavas. ए बारो करुणा करो वैष्णव गोसाई. By Srila Narottam Das Thakur, page 44. E baro karuna koro Vaishnava Gosai Patita pavano toma Bine ke hona E baro karuna koro Vaishnava Gosai Patita pavano toma Bine ke hona Kaharo nikote gene Papa dure jai Kaharo nikote gene Papa dure jai Emon doyalo Prabhu Eva kota pa অঙ্গারো পরশ হইলে পশ্চাতে পাব দর্শনে পবিত্র করো এ তোমার অঙ্গারো পরশ হইলে পশ্চাতে পাব দর্শনে পবিত্র করো এ তোমার হরি স্থানে অপরাধে কারে হরি নাম হরি স্থানে অপরাধে কারে হরি নাম তোমা স্থানে অপরাধে নাহি কোয়ে রাম তোমা স্থানে অপরাধে নাহি কোয়ে রাম তোমার হৃদয়ে সদা গোবিন্দ বিশ্রাম গোবিন্দ কোহে নম বৈষ্ণব তোমার হৃদয়ে সদা গোবিন্দ বিশ্রাম গোবিন্দ কোহে নম বৈষ্ণব প্রতি জন্মে করি আশা চরণের ধূলি প্রতি জন্মে করি আশা চরণের ধূলি নরোত্তমে করো দয়া আপনার বলি নরোত্তমে করো দয়া আপনার বলি এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই পতিত পাবন তোমার বিনে কেহ নাই এবার করুণা করো বৈষ্ণব গোসাই পতিত পাবন তোমার বিনে কেহ নাই জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর জয় বৈষ্ণব ঠাকুর প্রভু কৃপা করো মোরে দয়া করো 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 All Vaishnava Thakurs ki jai. Sudevi, we're getting requests for candles when the lights go out. Candles. Oops. Wanna help? but don't put it right in front of him. Yeah. Do we need a big one or just the little ones?
I think this should be fine.
Okay. Do we need one in front of him? We only have the big ones, that's okay. It's so dim.
Oh. No, we just
Oh. What's this in front of?
This is RadhaRaman's kopin.
Kopin means underwear.
It is the Lord's underwear. Can you see me actually? You can't even see me.
No, if your face got in there. See, RadhaRaman is a little bit outrageous because
He distributes his underwear to unsuspecting persons.
he gets away with people thinking he's just a little kid, when actually he is the combined form of Govinda, Gopinath, Madan, Mohan, standing in a threefold bending form, holding a flute. In other words, he is RadhaRaman, who is always giving pleasure and happiness to Srimati Radhika and the gopis. So this is RadhaRaman. So everyone calls him RadhaRaman, a lal, oh, little baby bacha, like that, but no. So
He walks around Vrindavan here just in his kopin.
that's right, especially in the...
Sometimes in the summer he only has flower kopins.
Yes, just flowers. If he was truly a baby, he actually wouldn't need clothes. Baby Krishna, he has a black string around his waist, sometimes a belt, black dot from Mother Yashoda's kajal protecting him, wears ankle bells so she can hear what kind of nonsense he's up to. Gurudev would always say, quite naked, except he's got braj dust on him, which makes him even more beautiful. So now we're going to call out for the mercy of the 6 Goswamis. That includes Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. Did I get the 6 Goswamis? Rup, Sanatan, Jiva, Gopal Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta. 6 Goswamis. Because today is the day of RadhaRaman, so we're also glorifying Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Today also we glorify Rupa Goswami, as we do every day, particularly. And also it is the day of Srinivas Acharya, who from his heart manifested this beautiful glorification of the 6 Goswamis, and he is a disciple of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Also Srila Gaura Babiji Maharaj. Someone came and begged for his mercy, and that person was bound in household life, and Srila Gaura Babiji Maharaj gave him kopins and said, here, this is my mercy. There's a deep meaning behind that. When Mahaprabhu is giving those, or Gaura Babiji Maharaj giving them, kopins are what one receives along with the vesh, means the cloth, and the danda when one receives sannyas. So when someone is giving that to someone else, it's representative of, may you be renounced from the world and completely absorbed in serving Krishna. It is mercy. So, Sri Shad Goswami Astakam, Krishnot Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro, Premamritam Bhaunidhe, page 264, by Sri Srinivas Acharya. He Radhe Brajadevi ke chalalite, He Nanda Shuno Kutaha, Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalim Nivanye Kutum. I don't think that was mystic power. I think it just happens to be a coincidence that you know and I know that today is the day of Sri Srinivas Acharya, and this is what he has manifested out of his causeless mercy, a way for us to glorify the 6 Goswamis. And since we were talking about Kopins, here it also says Kopina Kantashrito. So the 6 Goswamis also were extremely renounced. Ande Tyaktva Turnamashesha Mandalapati Shrenim Sadatu Chavat Bhutva Dina Ganesha Kurunaya Kopina Kantashrito. Interesting, right after the term Kopina Kantashrito, then it says Gopi Bhava Rasamrita Bhilahari Kalola Magno Muhur. So, at the same time that they are completely renounced from the material world, they are completely absorbed in the mood of the gopis, serving Radha and Krishna in Vrindavan. Bande Rupa Sanatano Ragujago Shri Jiva Gopalako. They fully abandoned at once the association of kingly aristocracy, deeming it insignificant. All of these personalities were the most qualified. From a material perspective, the most qualified. They were in the highest places in government, within the Muslim government at the time. Sanatana Goswami was the prime minister of Nawab Hussain Shah, the prime minister. And Rupa Goswami was his private secretary. And it was Anupam was the treasurer. So, this is not small. This is a very, very high qualification within the material consideration. And they were like princes. They were very well to do. And in a moment, they gave up everything, deeming it insignificant. And out of compassion, they humbly wore only loincloths and ragged quilts. This is also a reference to Sanatana Goswami. When he came to Mahaprabhu, he had a nice blanket and long hair and beard, because he was associated with the Muslims. At that time, Mahaprabhu had instructed him that he should make himself look clean and gentlemanly. So he shaved off his hair and beard, and he came with that nice blanket. Mahaprabhu didn't even say anything, he just looked at it. And Sanatana Goswami understood that it was disapprovingly. Look at that. Krishachi Nandana Gaura Hari Ki Jay. So Mahaprabhu looked at it disapprovingly. Sanatana Goswami immediately understood. He left. He went to the washerman, who was also washing some blankets, kambals. And he said, I would like to exchange this one for a ripped, old, torn one of yours. And this man was like, I'm poor, why are you making fun of me? And Sanatana told him, no, I'm not making fun of you, really. You take this nice one, I want an old, ripped, torn one. When he returned to Mahaprabhu wearing that, Mahaprabhu gave the look of approval. That you should not try to dress luxuriously, to be in such a prominent, affluent way, but Vaishnavism is very, very humble. For preaching, it might be one thing. I've seen how our Guru Varga, they looked impeccable, but they were utilizing that in the service of the Lord. But in this case, for Sanatana Goswami, he was already in that situation for so long, and finally he had been relieved of being in that affluent situation. Mahaprabhu was very pleased to see him in such a meek and humble position. So kopina kantashrito, they only wore loincloths and ragged quilts. Thereafter they repeatedly immersed themselves in the delightful, billowing waves, in the nectarian ocean of ras, the bhavs felt by the gopis. I worship Sri Rup, Sanatan, Raghunath Bhatta, Raghunath Das, Jiva and Gopal Bhatta Goswamis. At Radha Damodar temple, they chant Sri Shad Goswami Astakam every single day, but not in the tune that we're accustomed to. The tune they chanted is a little bit more, you can say, in a major scale. Krishna kirtana gana nartana paro premamritambo nidhi Dhira dhira jana priyo priyakaro nirmatsaro pujito Shri Chaitanya kripa bharo bhuvi bhuvo bharavahantarako Vande rupa sanatano raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. However, the moods present within here are also full of the moods of separation and longing. One devotee posted a quote, I believe it was Shachi, Amy Martin. Let me see if it's there. S-A-C-I. Amy Martin. It's been one of my favorite quotes. So our Srila Prabhupada, he said, the Goswamis, the disciples of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the most perfect and highly elevated beings, never said, I have seen Krishna. Instead, they constantly cried, where is RadhaRaman? Where are Lalita and Vishaka and the other damsels of Vrindavan? In their mature stage of love of Godhead, when they were living in Vrindavan, the Goswamis would also cry, RadhaRaman, where are you? Where are your associates? Where are you, O son of Nanda Maharaj? Where are you all? In this way, they were searching after Krishna, and they never at any time said, last night I saw Krishna dancing with the gopis. Such claims are not made by a mature devotee, but by one who takes things very cheaply. Some people think that Radha and Krishna are so cheap that they may be seen every night. But this is not the teaching of the Goswamis, who are always searching after Krishna, crying, where are you? Where are you, RadhaRaman? Where are you, Krishna? Are you there by Govardhan Hill? Are you on the bank of the Yamuna? In this way, throughout the whole tract of Vrindavan, the Goswamis were crying and searching after Radha and Krishna like madmen. And this is found in Elevation to Krishna Consciousness, Knowing Krishna's Energies. That's by Srila Prabhupada. Very powerful and beautiful quote. And even when we were chanting it in Barshana many years ago with our Srila Gurudev there, he really wanted the tune, which was full of pathos, evoking that mood of weeping and separation that our Srila Prabhupada would chant. And most of the devotees, he kept saying, no, not that one, not that one, not that one. Because even the tune that we will normally sing, and which we are going to sing, was not the tune he was looking for. He wanted that one. And I believe it's that tune where Srila Prabhupada is singing that He Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite He Nanda Shuno Kutah Shri Govardhana Kalpa Pada Patale Kalindi Vanye Kutah Goshanta Viti Sarvato Vrajapure Te Dair Mahavivvano Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. So, without further ado, we are going to call out to the 6 Goswamis, especially on this day, Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami, from whose heart Shri RadhaRaman manifested, and of course to Shri Rupa Goswami, who we call out to every day, who is the reason for everything that we do on the path of bhakti, and also to Srila Srinivas Acharya, who has all of these 6 Goswamis fully manifest in his heart. We can pray to him also, that as they are manifest in your heart, you have captured them by your devotion within your heart. Please be merciful and also allow them to manifest in my heart. Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Krishna Kirtana Gana Nartana Paro Premamritambo Nidhi Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito Dhira Dhira Jana Priyo Priya Karo Nirmatsaro Pujito Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Shri Chaitanya Kripa Bharo Bhuvi Bhuvo Bharavahantarako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako. We'll do it all together more slowly, okay? Nana Shastra Vicharo Naika Nipuno Sadharma Samsthapako Lokana Bhittakarino Tribhuvane Manyo Sharanyakaro Radha Krishna Padaro Vinda Bhajana Nande Namataliko Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopalako Shri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Vidho
कैवल्य निस्तारको वन्दे रूप सनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीव गोपालको त्यक्त्वा तूर्णम् अशेषमण्डलपति श्रेणिं सदातु च भूत्वा दीनगणेशको करुणया गोपीनकण्ठाश्रितो गोपीभावरसामृताभिलहरी कलोलमग्नो मुहुः वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको कुजात्कोकिलहंससारसगना कीर्णे मयूराकुले नानारत्ननिबद्धमूलवित्तप श्रीयुक्तवृन्दावने राधाकृष्णमहर्निशं प्रभजतो जीवार्थदोयो मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको संख्यापूर्वक नामगाननतिभिः कालावसानीकृतो निद्राहारो विहारकादिविजितो चात्यन्तदीनोचयो राधाकृष्ण गुणस्मृतिर्मधुरिमा नन्देन सम्मोहितो वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको राधाकुन्दतते कलिन्दतनया तीरे च वंशीवते प्रेमोन्मादवशादशेषदशया ग्रस्तो प्रमत्तो सदा गायन्तो च कदा हरेर्गुणवरम् भावाभिभुक्तो मुदा वन्दे रूपसनातनो रघुयुगो श्रीजीवगोपालको व्रजदेविके च ललिते हे नन्दसूनो कुतो Shri Jiva Gopala Ho Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugo Shri Jiva Gopala Ho Rupa Goswami Prabhu Rupa Goswami 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 Rupa Sanatan Jay Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Sanatan Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Jaya Gopal Bhatt Goswami Jaya Gopal Bhatt Goswami Gopal Bhatt Goswami Jaya Gopal Bhatt Goswami Gopal Bhatt Goswami Gopal Bhatt Goswami Gopal Bhatt Goswami Prabhu He 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 Shri Rupa Goswami Pad Ki Jai Shri Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai Shri Gopal Bhatt Goswami Ki Jai Shri Srinivas Acharya Ki Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Srila Gurudev told us how when he would visit with Srila Prabhupada at Radha Damodar, how when Srila Prabhupada would sing this bhajan, Sri Shad Goswami Astakam, and also Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, how he would weep while chanting this bhajan. Very dear to our Srila Prabhupada and all of our acharyas, of course. And now we have come to Sri Nityananda Prabhu. Pati Pavana Sri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. What do you mean by that statement, Rudra Prabhu? Because you wrote Raghunath Das Goswami twice. Maybe Sonam. We might sing the RadhaRaman bhajan. Is Isha Thakurani here? I see someone who just tagged her. Okay. Ah, that makes more sense. Okay. Jai Jai Nityananda Rohini Kumar by Vrindavan Das Thakur, page 64. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jayo Jayo Nityananda Rohini Kumar Jayo Jayo Nityananda Rohini Kumar Patita udharo lagi dubahu Patita udharo lagi dubahu Gado gado madhura madhura yadho bola Gado gado madhura madhura yadho bola Jare dekhe tare preme Bhori deya kola Jare dekhe tare preme Bhori deya kola Gogo mago lochano ghuraye nirantara Gogo mago lochano ghuraye nirantara Sonaro kamale jeno Hiraye Brahmaro Sonaro kamale jeno Hiraye Brahmaro Doyaro Thakur netai Paro dukho jane Doyaro Thakur netai Paro dukho jane Hari namer mala gathi dino jago jane Hari namer mala gathi dino jago jane Papi pashundi jato korilo dalana Papi pashundi jato korilo dalana Dino hino জানে কইলা প্রেম বিতরণ দীনহীন জানে কইলা প্রেম বিতরণ আহারে গৌরাঙ্গ বলি পদে ভূমি তলে আহারে গৌরাঙ্গ বলি পদে ভূমি তলে শরীর ভিজিল নিতাই নয়নের জলে শরীর ভিজিল নিতাই নয়নের জলে বৃন্দাবন দাস মনে এই বেচারিল বৃন্দাবন দাস মনে বেচারিল ধরণী উপরে কিবা সুমেরু করিল ধরণী উপরে কিবা সুমেরু করিল জয় জয় নিত্যানন্দ রোহিণী কুমার জয় জয় নিত্যানন্দ রোহিণী কুমার পতিত উদ্ধার লাগি দুবাহু পসার পতিত উদ্ধার লাগি দুবাহু পসার ও নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিত্যানন্দ রাম জয় নিত্যানন্দ রাম নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে गौर है पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम शचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय I know we're not supposed to drink during a eclipse, but if I don't do that, then this will become eclipsed. I think we should find out from Anup Krishna Prabhu. Anup Krishna Prabhu of Pure Cow Seva is the one who posted it. Devotees were asking him where he got it from, and he said he copied it from another devotee. That statement about how many years ago RadhaRaman manifested, where he manifested, why that particular location and everything. I've never heard all of those details from our Gurudev, but it still may be that any personality with divine vision has seen this and manifested that. Gurudev did say it was a very special place, a very confidential grove. Of course, we know where RadhaRaman Mandir is and where RadhaRaman appeared. So did Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada both stayed there in that area, RadhaRaman Ghera, when they were in Vrindavan. But also Gopal Bhatta Goswami was staying there. He was staying everywhere. But that in that particular place, also he was at the Radha Damodar area near Jiva Goswami. And of course we know he was in Sanket, the meeting place between, for Radha and Krishna, between Nanda Gao and Barshana. There was a special meeting place, and Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Bhajan Kutir is there. So he was in many places around Braj, as we have just sung in that beautiful kirtan of glorification of the six Goswamis, how they were going from place to place, tree to tree, Giriraj, Govardhan, Jamuna Maharani, going from bush to bush. Have you seen Krishna? He Radhe, Vrajadevike, Chalavite, He Nanda Shunukuta, Shri Govardhana Kalpapada Patale Kalindi Banyekuta, Bhoshantavati Sarvato, Brajpure, Ke Dar Mahabhivalo, Vande Rupa Sanatano, Raghu Jugo, Shri Jiva, Gopala Ko. So also Gopal Bhatta Goswami was doing this. But if you know where RadhaRaman temple is, and that little place just kind of near the entrance where he appeared, which is just next to where Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami's Samadhi Mandir is, that is just on the edge of what we now call Nidhuvan. Nidhuvan is walled in. Previously it was not. So now we have Seva Kunj with a wall and a monkey cage. But before, Seva Kunj was not like that. How far did Seva Kunj extend out? Actually, all of Vrindavan is Seva Kunj. It is where Krishna, Vrindavan, it is where Krishna is endeavoring to serve his beloved devotees, the gopis. So it is Seva Kunja, and they're also endeavoring to serve him. Nidhuvan is also a Seva Kunj. Nidhuvan is not only what is inside those walls. Nidhuvan also is a very secret place. And RadhaRaman Ghera is right there on the edge of what we now know as the walled-in Nidhuvan, but it is part of Nidhuvan. Vangshivat is not only that small little area with the checkered floors under that tree. Millions of gopis ran to meet Krishna in that place when he was calling on a full moon night. And as tonight, after the Grahan, after the eclipse, there will be a reddish moon. So on that night of Sharad Purnima, the moon was also reddish, and that inspired within the heart of Krishna the desire to meet with the gopis and dance. That reddish moon. So we call it a blood moon, but really we should think of it as a saffron moon. And that saffron, or that color, is the color of Anurag, deep loving attachment for Krishna. So instead of looking at it thinking it's a blood moon, we should think, oh, it is the moon of loving attachment to Krishna. Then we can make everything Krishna conscious. So all of these pastime places, which are now contained in a very small area, they're also ever expansive. And these pastimes took place in so many different locations at so many different times in different kalpas. But anyhow, there's Vangshivat, there's Nidhuvan, there's Seva Kunj, there's Rupamanjari Kunj, there's Imlitala, there's Belvan, there's Mansarovar, there's Kaliyahrad. So many different areas of the pastimes of the Lord. Raman Reti. Raman Reti was not only where Krishna would play with his cowherd boyfriends, also there is known as Raman Reti for a reason. Pleasure sands, but also who is playing there? Radha and Raman. So all of Vrindavan is for so many different pastimes. Where exactly Gopal Bhatta Goswami would be? He would be everywhere, always searching. Where are you? Where are you? Even though Krishna manifested to him directly, still he was always in that mood. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine by Srila Premananda Das Thakur. This song is based on a verse written by Sri Prabodhananda Saraswati in Chaitanya Chandramrita 130, beginning Prema Namad Bhutartha. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Sacira Nandana Bine. Page 70. Prema Bolina Ati Adbhuta Shruta Hoito Karo Kane. Prema Bolina Ati Adbhuta Shruta Hoito Karo Kane. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Shri Krishna Namero Swaguna Mahima Te Bhajanai To Yaro. Shri Krishna Namero Swaguna Mahima Te Bhajanai To Aro. Vrindavipine Mahamadhurima. Vrindavipine Mahamadhurima. Pravesha Hoito Karo. Pravesha Hoito Karo. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Emon Sacira Nandana Bine. Ke Bhajanai To Radharo Madhurya Rasa Jasha Chamatkar. সাত্বিক বিকার তারয় অনুভব সাত্বিক বিকার গোচর চিরবাকার গোচর চিরবাকার এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে সচিরানন্দন এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে ব্রজে যে বিলাস রাস মহারাস প্রেম পর প্রিয় তত্ত্ব ব্রজে যে বিলাস রাস মহারাস প্রেম পর প্রিয় তত্ত্ব গোপীর মহিমা ব্যভিচারী সীমা গোপীর মহিমা ব্যভিচারী সীমা কারয় গতি ছিল এ তো কারয় গতি ছিল এ তো এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে সচিরানন্দন বিনে সচিরানন্দন বিনে সচিরানন্দন বিনে ও ধন্য কলি ধন্য নিতাই চৈতন্য পরম করুণা করি ধন্য কলি ধন্য নিতাই চৈতন্য পরম করুণা করি বিধিয় গোচর যে প্রেম বিকার বিধিয় গোচর যে প্রেম বিকার প্রকাশে জগত ভোরি প্রকাশে জগত ভোরি এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে উত্তময় ধম কিছু না বাছিল যাচিয়া দিলে কোল উত্তময় ধম কিছু না বাছিল যাচিয়া দিলে কোল কোহে প্রেমানন্দে এমন গৌরাঙ্গে কোহে প্রেমানন্দে এমন গৌরাঙ্গে অন্তরে ধরিয়া লোল অন্তরে ধরিয়া লোল এমন সচিরানন্দন বিনে Sacira Nandana Bine Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Emon Sacira Emon Sacira Nandana Bine Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Gaura Purushottam Sachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Now we will call to Krishna. What is the bhajan that has the name RadhaRaman in it? I believe it starts with Hari He Doya Mor, Jai Radhanath, yes, He RadhaRaman. Okay, that's page 145 by an unknown Vaishnava author. But it's also very similar to Madhava Bahuta Minoti Korite. Shri RadhaRaman Ji ki Jai. Hari He Doya Mor, Jayo Radhanatho, Baro Bar Rohini Satho. Hari He Doya Radhanatho, Baro Bar Rohini Satho, Bahujoni Brahmina Loinu Sharano, Bahujoni Brahmina Loinu Sharano, Nijagune Kripa Koro, Adhamatarono, Nijagune Kripa Koro, Adhamatarono, Jagat Karuna Jagat Jivana, Jagat Karana Tumi, Jagat Jivana. chara koro nahi, he RadhaRaman. Toma chara koro nahi, he RadhaRaman. Toma chara koro nahi, he RadhaRaman. Toma chara karo nahi, he RadhaRaman. Bhuvanam mangala tumi, bhuvanero pati. Bhuvanam mangala tumi, bhuvanero pati. Tumi upekhile na, ki hoibe gati. Tumi upekhile na, ki hoibe gati. Bhabiya dekhinu jagat majhare. Bhabiya dekhinu jagat majhare. Toma bina keho nahi, edase udhare. Toma bina keho nahi, edase udhare. Hari he doya mor, Jayo Radha nato, bar bar Rohini sato. Hari he doya mor, Jayo Radha nato, bar bar Rohini sato. Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe. Gopal Bhatto prano dhano he, Gopal Bhatto prano dhano he, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Radhe. Sudevi, can you please bring me the kartals? So that beat is a little bit fast. Thank you. That beat, sorry, it's probably going to be a little loud. I didn't realize this was inside my shirt. Sorry about that. It's going to be a little loud, but you know there's what we call the 1, 2, 3 beat. That's for like Sri Guru Charana Padma when we were singing it the way we were. Then there's the 1, 2 beat, or which would be like a Gurudeva Kripa Bindu Diya Koro e Dase. And then there's the double beat on the 4/4. So, like at the end. Or so it's fast. So Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, 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 Jaya RadhaRaman. Like that. Or if you can't play it that fast, then RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman, Jaya RadhaRaman. That's how they play it in classical, like when Bhimsen Joshi is singing his fast songs and the drums going all fast, but the kartals are just doing that on, off, on, off. Okay, and now we'll call out for the mercy of Vrishabhananandini, Srimati Radharani. Feels like today's a party, like a birthday party. So it feels like RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai. Page 362. Vrishabhananandini Srimati RadhaRani ki Jai. If you want a really good kartal tutorial, you may question Madhukar. I don't know how they do that spin where they're able to do these flicks and everything. I don't know how to do all that. And there are people who can play. They've got them on the ends of the strings and they play like this and they hit it properly every time. I don't know how they do that either. They're just very expert kartal players. So page 362. Oh, and one other beat. This is another one. You also play the fast beat for this, but it's what we call the Kempta beat. You know that? And the beat on that would be like RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai. Bolo Barshane Wali ki Jai, Jai, Jai. Bolo Barshane Wali ki Jai, Jai, Jai. RadhaRani Maharani ki Jai, RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, Thakurani ki Jai, Hari Pyari ki Jai, Thakurani ki Jai, Hari Pyari ki Jai, Vrishabhanu Dulali ki Jai, 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 Vrishabhanu Dulali ki Jai, 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 RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, Rani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, Gaurangi ki Jai, Hemangi ki Jai, Gaurangi ki Jai, Hemangi ki Jai, Braja Rajakumari ki Jai, 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 Braja Rajakumari ki Jai, 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 RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, RadhaRani ki Jai, Maharani ki Jai, Brajarani ki Jai, Brajadevi ki Jai, Brajarani ki Jai, Brajadevi ki Jai, Gahavara Madhavendra Puri ki jai jai jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai, Giridhari ki jai, Vanavari ki jai, Giridhari ki jai, Vanavari ki jai, bolo Kunja Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, bolo Kunja Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, bolo Vinoda Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, bolo Vinoda Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, bolo Ramana Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, bolo Ramana Bihari Ju ki jai jai jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki jai, bolo Varshane Vali ki jai jai jai, bolo Varshane Vali ki jai jai jai, Radha Rani ki jai, Maharani ki 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 jai, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Radhe, Jai Shri Radhe, Jai RadhaRaman, Jai RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman, Jai RadhaRaman, Jai RadhaRaman, Jai RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman, Jai RadhaRaman. Shri Shri RadhaRaman Ju ki jai. Yeah, we've just passed the most intense part, about 10 minutes ago, of the lunar eclipse, the most full, complete part of it. It is going over. As Gurudev, Gurudev would call it the eucalyptus, which is no one would ever try to correct him. It's
so sweet.
Yes, the solar eucalyptus, lunar eucalyptus. And actually there was a beautiful recording of a kirtan that Gurudev was leading on a lunar eclipse, and the devotees we left the cassettes with somehow removed that. So I really hope that they've taken it and really made it nice and they present it to the world, because Gurudev is chanting a beautiful tune of Hare Krishna on a lunar eclipse, and Keshavji Gauri Mat, the lunar eclipse kirtan, I think it was Rag Yaman. But tonight, because, well, it is the appearance day of RadhaRaman, we're going to chant his names, but we are going to start with Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and then we're going to end in RadhaRaman. So Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the culmination of everything, but Hare Krishna, this means Radha Krishna. And what is the meaning of Hare Ram? For those who are exclusive devotees of Krishna and Srimati Radhika, Hare Ram would also refer to Radha and Krishna. Specifically, this Ram will not refer to Dasharati Ram with the bow and arrows, the Patidev of Sita Ji, but this Ram will refer to RadhaRaman. As Jiva Goswami writes, RadhaRama iti Ramaha. And Srila Prabhupada also writes it in his purports. Ramanyate. Oh gosh, I'm trying to remember the detail. I posted it once a long time ago, so I'll have to find it. Maybe I can find it very quick. Raman Raman Yate Ramaha Prabhupada. Let's see. It's not showing up. I thought it would.
Maybe if we chant, it will come to you.
Yes. Anyway, he's talking about this Ram and the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Ram, Prabhupada. Okay. There we are. Nope. Okay. That's not going to come up right now. So, we're going to call out this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, which is the greatest chant, the chant of deliverance. But we don't really chant for deliverance from any material suffering or material problems. It's deliverance from our own unwillingness to flow according to our nature. So there is a demon of unwillingness that we are hoping to become freed from. And what is that? We want to go toward Krishna with our nature, which is prem, to love and serve Krishna. So when we're chanting this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, O Radha, O Krishna, O RadhaRaman, Hare Ram means RadhaRaman, please engage me in your service. I am yours. Make me yours. So now we will call out for the mercy of Radha and Krishna to be engaged in their service. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
प्यारो राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल प्यारो राधा रमन हरि जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल प्यारो राधा रमन हरि बोल जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल प्यारो राधा रमन हरि love it. जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल प्यारो राधा रमन हरि बोल प्यारो राधा रमन हरि बोल। जय राधा हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। जय जय राधा रमन हरि बोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। राधा रमन जय राधा रमन राधा रमन जय राधा रमन। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल गौर हरि बोल। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय गुरुदेव। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय प्रभुपाद। श्री श्रीनिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। श्री गुरुदेव की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। रूपानुग गौरी गुरुवर्ग की जय। पतित पावन श्री नित्यानंद प्रभु की जय। प्रेम पुरुषोत्तम सचिनंदन गौर हरि की जय। राधा विनो बिहारी जू की जय। राधा रमन जू की जय। तदीय आविर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय। गिरिराज महाराज की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। श्री परमेश्वरी ठाकुर की जय। श्री श्रीनिवास आचार्य की जय। श्री माधवेंद्र पुरी पाद की जय। गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। राधा रमन चूड़ारू दीजिए कि पूरी अति निर्मल मोहन भोग ग्रास संग दीजिए। राधा रमन चूड़ारू दीजिए। That's his dinner song. That's for later, when he gets his hot milk. Does he take hot milk in the summer?
He takes it all the time.
And then bhidi leo, mere kar so lalana. So, we did kirtan through the grahan. Now the eclipse is finished. So, very good. Thank you all for being with us for that. I don't have the words for the dinner song, and there's no dinner here, so I don't want them to become upset if we just... We sat there for many months, and even many months over many years, with Tarun, singing that particular dinner song. So we kind of learned it.
Are you doing?
Huh?
Are you doing
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaye Tadbhaktaye Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Nama Om Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimar Bhaktivedanta Narayana Nityanamine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanang pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam karoti vachalam Pangum langayate giring Yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev. Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashat Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnupad Ashto Tarashat Shri Srimad Shri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to all of our Rupanuga Gauriya Guru Varga. And especially on this day, I offer my Dandava Pranam in the dust of the lotus feet of Srinivas Acharya, of Sri Parameshwari Thakur, and Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad, and especially, of course, to Sri RadhaRaman. And also, we offer our Dandava Pranam to all Vaishnavas, whoever were, whoever will be, who are now, and that includes all of you. So, Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam, dear Vaishnavas. Radhe 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 Sham.
Radhe Sham, Radhe Raman. You can go see that forest, but you need the eyes to see it. Those would be the eyes of love. There is a forest there, Nidhuvan, and it is very beautiful, very sweet. But if you see it through the ears, as you are hearing Harikatha from the pure devotees, it is a very different vision. I told a long time ago that when I first came to Vrindavan, the first day I was here, my parents basically left me behind. We were on a Harinam Sankirtan party through Loy Bazaar. My parents just disappeared. I didn't speak a word of Hindi, and they were nowhere to be found. All I knew was I was staying at ISKCON, but I didn't even realize that much. And so I was lost. I needed a toilet. They ended up pointing me from Loy Bazaar, toilet, all the way to Madan Mohan temple. I walked that far looking for one. So here I was in Vrindavan, my first day, looking for a toilet. And then finally I ended up across the Parikrama Marg, and I asked someone, where's the toilet? And he just pointed, everywhere is a toilet. And then somebody told me, that's Yamuna. And I said, no, it's not. I know what Yamuna looks like. And they said, no, that's Yamuna. And I said, no, it's not. Yamuna is crystal clear waters flowing with lotus flowers constantly blooming. The banks are bedecked in jewels, and the trees are so heavy. They're leaning over, full of juicy fruits and flowers. And it's full of swans and peacocks and parrots. That's what Yamuna looks like. And they're like, no, that's Yamuna. I was like, no, I know what Yamuna looks like. Because I had only had my vision of Yamuna through what I received from Srila Prabhupada in his Krishna book. So only from that was my vision until that time. And then my material eyes cheated me. So really the way to see is via the medium of the ears, or by the medium of what Harikatha we receive from those who have that divine vision. Otherwise, our eyes can cheat us. So we should pray for that. Kabe habe bolo Saydina Amar Aparadha Gucci. No, Aparadha will go this way. Shudhana me Ruchi will come this way. Kripa bale habe hridaye sanchar. Same. When you have taste for the pure name, also you will have attraction for seeing the beautiful form of Shyama Sundar. As Sri Brahma Samhita says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santak Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yang Shyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Those eyes that are smeared with the salve of love, prema, anjana. Anjan means like kajal or salve, and prema. Prema means divine love and affection. For those persons, they will always see the beautiful form of Shyama Sundar everywhere. Yang Shyama Sundaram Achintya. Shyamam Tribhanga Lalitam. You will see the threefold bending form of Shyama Sundar everywhere. For others, in mundane consciousness, we will see pigs and garbage and sewage and all the problems around. The pure devotees, they're only searching. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Always looking for Krishna. And other persons, like me, looking for all the nonsense and like that. So, in the association of pure Vaishnavas, we can develop that mood that they have. He Radhe Brajadevike Chalalite. Where are you? Where are you? By their association, that greed will develop within our hearts, that we will also become expectant, searching for Krishna everywhere. Not only externally, but internally, via our Harinam, via our Thakur Seva, via Mahaprasad, via every aspect of bhakti. We will constantly be searching for Krishna. Yes, Rudragupta, Kotai Kanai, Kotai Kanai. So today, we are observing the days of Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad, the day of Srinivas Acharya, the day of Parameshwari Thakur, and the day of the appearance of Sri RadhaRaman. So, honestly, I don't know anything about Parameshwari Thakur. I did not receive the opportunity, or I can't say that. I just missed my opportunity to contemplate him. So, without saying anything else, I'll just say Shri Parameshwari Thakur Ki Jai. And if any of you can post anything here about him, I would really appreciate it. Today is also the day of Srinivas Acharya. Srinivas Acharya is the disciple of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So there is a connection between the appearance of Sri RadhaRaman and, of course, the day of Srinivas Acharya. It also so happens to be the day after Sri Narasingha Chaturdashi. So, Narasingha, how did he appear? He appeared at that time from a stone pillar. Prahlad saw him everywhere. Hiranyakashipu was like, where is he? I can't see him. Of course he couldn't see him at that time, because the Lord reserves who he chooses to reveal himself to. Only those that he chooses to reveal himself to, by that he will be able to be seen. And also by those who have pure love and affection for him, because they have bound him by their love and affection. So Prahlad was seeing the Lord everywhere. He wasn't seeing Lord Nrsingadev everywhere. Who is the Ishtadev of Prahlad? Anyone? The worshipful Lord of Prahlad? Does anyone know? First person to give that? What do we have? Ah, we'll get a nice ripe Daseri mango. Okay. Who is the Ishtadev, the worshipful Lord of Prahlad? No, not Sankarsha. Yes, Janardhan Prabhu, Krishna. If one is a devotee of Krishna And that person becomes in a very dangerous situation, like you're just about to be killed by Hiranyakashipu. Krishna, taking a very protective role, may manifest in the form of Narasimhadev Bhagavan. Keshava Dritta Narahari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Prahlad was always chanting the names of Krishna. Matirna Krishne Paratasvatova. He's saying Krishna. Then he's also saying Hari. Vanam Gato Yad Harima Ashrayeta. And he's speaking about Govinda. So, Govinda Nama Kirtanam. Prahlad is speaking this. Also Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. But these names of Krishna, these are his prominent, this is his Ishtadev. But not exactly Krishna in Vrindavan. Prahlad is in Shuddha Shantaras. So, Prahlad could see him everywhere, but Hiranyakashipu could not see him. But by the mercy of Prahlad, and also by the mercy of the mood of Hiranyakashipu, he was always angry at the Lord. So in enmity and hatred and anger toward the Lord reciprocated in a form that was ferocious for Hiranyakashipu. And for Prahlad, Prahlad was seeing the most beautiful form. He said to him, "You are so beautiful. Oh my Lord, you are so beautiful." One thing I forgot to tell you yesterday. After Lord Nrsimhadev gave his mercy to Prahlad, in one kalpa it is said he put him on his lap and began to lick his head like a lion licks his cub. But he was so affectionate to Prahlad. Prahlad melted his heart. And he manifested in that form to protect Prahlad. So after that, when the demigods then were offering prayers, Lord Brahma said something, others were saying things. Lord Nrsimhadev looked at Lord Brahma. What did he say? You shouldn't give these kinds of benedictions to demons. It is like feeding milk to a snake. All it does is increase his poisonous effect and make him more powerful and strong. So in the future, don't give these kinds of benedictions to demons again. I've warned you. Now, just having seen Lord Nrsimhadev literally rip Hiranyakashipu apart like a child rips apart a wasp, or how he just shredded millions of the soldiers of Hiranyakashipu, literally shredded them. You've seen the painting. And how angry he was, fuming with anger, with fire coming from his eyes, and so furious that Brahma, Shiva, Indra, even Lakshmi would not go close to him. Then Lord Nrsimhadev warned him, "Don't ever do this again. You've been warned." So I'm sure Brahma was a little bit careful there. Yes, Shyam Prabhu, Prahlad is in Shantaras. Our Gurudev explains what is the mood of Shantaras. Although there's Prem, there's Shanta Prem, but the Shantaras Bhakta does not think that the Lord needs anything. He doesn't need his service. So Prahlad just admires him. He has love for him, but his love is in terms of admiration and glorification and amazement. What? Louder, please. Yes, and Prahlad is also the embodiment of nishtha, firm, fixed conviction, unbreakable. Nothing could stop him from his mood of dedication to the Lord. Nothing. It's
so high.
Yes, it's so high. So Prahlad, his mood is Shantaras. Why? Because he didn't think that Lord Nrsimhadev needed anything from him. After Narasimhadev fought with Hiranyakashipu, did Prahlad think, "Oh, I need to get him a glass of water? Do I need to give him anything?" No, he understands that the Lord is Atmaram, self-satisfied, and Aptakam. He has no desire outside of himself that is not instantaneously fulfilled, so he doesn't need anything. So that mamata, the depth of that relationship is not present there. Where Hanuman thinks in pure dasyaras, servitude, that I must serve my Lord in every way. And then Sakyaras, friendship, that's even more intimate. They're embracing each other, wrestling with each other, joking with each other. Dasyaras still has some, you are my master, I am your servant. Sakyaras, they forget he's the master. They wrestle him and throw him on the ground and jump on top of him and tell him to close his eyes and open his mouth and say, I brought some very, very special dishes from my mother for you. Please close your eyes and open your mouth. And Krishna says, ah. And either they'll put a dandelion flower in his mouth or a chili pakora or anything like that. So no Aishwarya, so much affection and friendship mood as young boys would be. And then parental mood. Not only do they serve in every way, but they feel that he's dependent upon me. If I don't take care of him, he will get sick. He might die. If I don't teach him right, he'll become very bad. Who will love him? So always looking after him like that. And the gopis serving in every way. Madhurya Ras serving in every way. They have mamata, that he is mine. Some have tadiya, that I am his. So Prahlad is in this Shantaras. But now we're going to continue with the people of this day, those divine personalities. So who was I speaking about? Srinivas Acharya. So Srinivas Acharya, he's the disciple of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Gopal Bhatta Goswami is one of these 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan. His father is Vyankat Bhatta. He came from South India. We'll talk about that after. But this Srinivas Acharya, he took initiation from Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And Srinivas Acharya, he's the son of one devotee of Mahaprabhu named Chaitanya Das. And this Chaitanya Das had a desire in his heart that he felt that he needed to bring any divine personality into this world. When he came in front of Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu said, your desires will be fulfilled. And so by the blessing of Mahaprabhu, he attained this Srinivas Acharya. I don't know all the history of his birth or anything like that, but he was very brilliant, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, and always dedicated to the Lord. So this Srinivas Acharya, he was always associating with the Vaishnavas, always serving the Vaishnavas, and always wanted to hear Shastra from them. It is said that he went to Jagannath Puri to hear Srimad Bhagavatam from Gadadhar Pandit. But when he arrived there, the Srimad Bhagavatam of Gadadhar Pandit was completely unusable. Why? Because Gadadhar Pandit, who is Srimati Radhika, has manifested as Gadadhar Pandit in Gaur Lila, was weeping and weeping while reading Srimad Bhagavatam. So all of those tears smeared all of that ink and it was not legible. So then this Srinivas Acharya went to secure another copy. It wasn't very easy to get copies of books in those days. It all had to be hand done. So he went to get another copy. I read today that where he went, that copy was also not legible because whoever else, the devotees there, were also weeping. And then he went back to go see Gadadhar Pandit, but Gadadhar Pandit had also left this world. So this cast Srinivas Acharya into a great, deep separation. What is the most severe pain? Mahaprabhu asked RadhaRaman, the greatest distress in this world. He said, I know of no greater distress, no greater suffering than that of separation from the devotees of the Lord. The Srinivas Acharya was cast into this deep separation. Gradually he was pointed in the direction of Vrindavan, where he took shelter of Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami and his Shiksha Guru Sri Jiva Goswami. In fact, it was Jiva Goswami who instructed him to take initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. There were 3 main personalities altogether that are quite famous together. Prabhu Trai, that is Srinivas Acharya, Narottam Das Thakur, and Shyamananda. These 3. So they were studying under Jiva Goswami together. Jiva Goswami instructed Srinivas Acharya, you take initiation from Gopal Bhatta Goswami. For Narottam Das Thakur, you take initiation from Lokanath Goswami. And from Shyamananda, he had already taken or received initiation from his Gurudev, Hridoy Chaitanya, but he came to Jiva Goswami for further instruction because Hridoy Chaitanya was in Sakya Bhav, or friendship mood, and the internal nature of Shyamananda was in Madhurya Ras, or Gopi Bhav. So only a Gopi could fully nourish that mood. So Jiva Goswami was able to nourish his moods. So in those days, Srila Gurudev explained that there wasn't this mood, oh, this is my disciple, and like that. Everyone's mood was how to encourage and enculture each individual toward their perfection. And so just like maybe you're going to school and there's a professor here and another professor there and another professor there, and you need to develop to get your master's degree, this professor is not going to say, no, you cannot hear from him and hear from him. He'll say, yes, if you want to become more expert in this particular area, you hear from this one. If you want to be more expert in that area, then you hear from this one. So all together, they collectively worked. It took a village to raise any child of bhakti, and they all worked together to bring each individual toward perfection. When, oh when will that day come again? It will. This is the prediction of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So we're looking forward to that time. So once upon a time, the Goswamis of Vrindavan instructed these three, Shyamananda, Srinivas, and Narottam Das, that they should take the books of the Goswamis from Vrindavan to Bengal and also preach from these books as they were traveling. So they made their first traveling Sankirtan party, and they actually had books with them. They weren't distributing the books because they were originals, hand-written originals. Also, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. They had a copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, which technically was the original one of Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. So as they were traveling, they came upon one kingdom, the kingdom of Birhambir, Banavishnupur. And that king had a very expert astrologer who told, very soon there's one party coming through. They have the most valuable treasure with them. But you should not disturb them. Don't kill them. He was a dacoit king. Don't kill them, but somehow or other you should take that treasure. It is the most valuable treasure I have ever seen in my astrological calculations, and I am never wrong. So the king made arrangement with his henchmen, and he told them, don't kill them, don't hurt them. You should steal it, whatever they have, in the night. So they were resting in that night in the forest under a tree with their books in boxes. And those dacoits came in the night. They saw that, these three were asleep, deep asleep. And they took those boxes. When they woke up in the morning, Srinivas, Shyamananda, and Narottam were completely devastated. This was our service. We were instructed by our Gurudevs to travel and bring these books and distribute these transcendental literatures and to preach from them. We have failed in our duty. Srinivas Acharya felt, because of my laziness, because of my lack of adherence to the instruction of my Guru, I am responsible for this. It is said that they were fainting again and again and again. So Srinivas instructed Narottam and Shyamananda that they should go searching in different directions. He sent Shyamananda to Orissa, and he sent Narottam to Assam, Bangladesh, and north also to Manipur. And he decided he would stay in that area and search. And he told, in the meantime, you should also preach and share the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis. So Shyamananda, very expertly, through a beautiful medium of kirtan, I don't know the tune or the style, but he preached throughout all of Orissa the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the teachings of our Goswamis. Narottam Das Thakur very successfully did that also in Bangladesh, in Assam, West Bengal, and also all the way into Manipur. In fact, he converted the king of Manipur, and the entire country became Gaudiya Vaishnava. To this day, they know all of the bhajans of Narottam Das Thakur, and they also wear the same tilak we have, maybe a little thinner, but still. And that culture, that Vaishnava culture, was contained for a very long time, still to this day to a great degree. And Srinivas Acharya stayed in that kingdom of Vanavishnupur. So after some time, Srinivas Acharya was searching here and there, but was not having any fortune to find these books. And he would go regularly to hear Srimad Bhagavatam. It is said one day he went to the palace of the king. There was an expert reciter of Bhagavatam. And as Srinivas Acharya was listening to this Srimad Bhagavatam, which was very nice, but he requested, can I comment on something? And as he was commenting, the king heard him speaking. As he was speaking, Srinivas was weeping and telling these deep, deep moods of our Goswamis. And the king, seeing this, ended up falling at the feet of Srinivas Acharya. Please, be merciful to me and accept me as your disciple. I have never had this kind of impact in my life before. And seeing your nature, I want to take shelter of you. So Srinivas Acharya accepted the king. And the king said, is there anything I can do for you? Srinivas Acharya told him, some time in the past, we came through with our books. And in the night, as we were resting, those books were stolen. We've been searching for them, but we can't find them. And the king said, oh, I have them. And he told him the whole story. And so he showed him these books. Everything was intact, and Srinivas was so happy. So Srinivas Acharya was able to rescue those books, and they brought them to Bengal. It was said that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami was actually quite concerned because he thought that was his only copy of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, but his servant had made a copy before he sent it out. So luckily for that, we have today Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. So Srinivas Acharya, of course, he wrote that beautiful bhajan glorifying the six Goswamis, Vande Rupa Sanatano Raghujugo Sri Jiva Gopalako. And from this, we can see the moods of the Goswamis, and we can also understand what we should aspire for. Because the dust of their lotus feet, that is everything for us. Tadera Charana Sevi, Bhakta Sanevas. Always residing in the association of the devotees, taking shelter of the lotus feet of the six Goswamis. Janame Janame Hoy E Abhilash. My only desire, birth after birth, is for that. And really that is our goal, our aspiration. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada, same or Sampada, same or Bhajan Prijan, same or Pranadana, same or Abharas, same or Jivane or Jivan, say Vrata, say Tapa, say more Mantra, Japa, say more Bhajana Pujan. Everything, all of our practices on the path of bhakti is to somehow or other be able to take shelter of the lotus foot dust of Sri Rupa, of our Goswamis. So, now I want to move on to Sri Madhavendra Puri Srinivas. So Sri Srinivas Acharya ki Jai. Did I tell you that Srinivas Acharya, he also preached very, very heavily in that area of Anu Vishnupur and the surrounding area, and converted that king into Vaishnavism and made so many into Vaishnavas. So both by the mercy of Narottam, Srinivas and Shyamananda. Narottam was north, Shyamananda was Orissa, and Srinivas was there. Thousands and thousands and thousands of persons came to the path of Vaishnavism, Chaitanya Vaishnavism, under the guidance of the six Goswamis. So by their mercy, also, we have received this special path of Gaudiya Vaishnavism, by their mercy as well. We are also in Narottam Parivar. Bhakti Vinodhara Narottam Parivar. So by their mercy, we have some knowledge of Krishna, Vaishnavism, the teachings of our Goswamis and everything. And also we have some knowledge of Sri Madhavendra Puri Srinivas. So Sri Srinivas Acharya ki Jai. So today is also the day of Madhavendra Puri Srinivas. I don't know, but you may look it up. Maybe Bhakti Ratnakar might tell something on that. So, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, He is the grand disciple of Madhavendra Puripad. Mahaprabhu's guru is Ishwar Puripad. When he went to Gaya and met with his Gurudev, Sri Ishwar Puripad gave him mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra and Krishna Mantra, which is the Gayatri Mantra. This completely changed the heart of Sachinandan Gaurahari from how he was before as young, proud, Nimai Pandit, arguing and defeating everyone with logic and this and that. He went to Ishwar Puripad and seeing the greatness of the devotion of Sri Ishwar Puripad, this, you can say in essence, brought that humility upon him, and he took shelter of his Gurudev and his heart was changed. He was no longer that naughty Pandit Nimai, he became known as Bhavuk Nimai. That Nimai who was full of bhav, always crying and chanting the names of the Lord. And the Guru of Sri Ishwar Puripad, of Mahaprabhu's Guru, is Sri Madhavendra Puripad. Madhavendra Puripad is said to be the root of the Krishna Bhakti tree. So there's an example that is given of a tree. First, you need the root. It starts with the seed, of course, and that seed makes a root, and that root is the first manifestation. From there, then you have the first sprout. So the first sprout is compared to Srila Ishwar Puripad, and then from there, of course, the trunk grows, and that is compared to Mahaprabhu. And then so many branches, means the associates and followers of Mahaprabhu, and so many other smaller branches. This is all the tree of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's associates and the associates of his associates. So we're coming in this Narottam Parivar, Bhakti Vinod Dhara, Gauriya Saraswat, Sampradaya Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, and then of course there's so many branches there. One of the very main prominent branches of the Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada tree is Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Another, of course, is Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, and there's our Param Gurudev Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj, Bhakti Rakshak Srira Maharaj, Bhakti Dait Madhav Maharaj. So many branches manifesting, and then their disciples. It's spreading out like that, more and more. But still, all are endeavoring to do the same thing, to bring everyone to Krishna, to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu. So Madhavendra Puripad is the root. In other words, before him in this world, it was rarely, if ever, seen or heard anything about Radha, Krishna, and Prem. There was Vaidhi Bhakti very strong. There was a lot of Mayavad influence from the Shankar side. There was Buddhistic influence which was driven out of India by Shankaracharya toward the north and the south. So it went all the way into Tibet and China, Japan, and also into Sri Lanka. But the idea of Prem, divine love, this was relatively unheard of. But Madhavendra Puripad, he is a transcendental, eternal associate of the Lord. So it is not necessary for him to, in essence, he is inaugurating this by his own heart. It is there already, eternally and internally. And so Madhavendra Puripad is the root of this Krishna Bhakti tree. And he comes in the line of Madhvacharya through sannyas and through initiation. So we're coming in the Brahma Sampradaya through Madhvacharya. Brahma Madhva, Gauriya Sampradaya through Madhavendra Puripad. So this is the branch of Madhva Sampradaya, Madhavendra Puri branch, that we are all dependent upon. So once upon a time, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, as he was traveling from the north toward the south, he stopped in one place known as Remuna. He was there with all of his associates, or the ones who were traveling with him. And there in Remuna, they went to the temple of Gopinath. This Gopinath had a name, nickname, a prefix, Kirchor, who stole the kir, this Gopinath. And there Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy before the deity, and then sat down and began telling all of the devotees about his Param Gurudev. As anyone would be so fascinated by their Gurudev and their Guru's Guru, seeing how much love and affection one's Guru has for their Guru. Mahaprabhu also was fascinated by his Param Gurudev. So he began telling the devotees the glories of Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad. He told, and I'm going to have to shorten it a little bit because otherwise time will become too late. Madhavendra Puri Pad once was in Vrindavan, and Madhavendra Puri Pad was at Govindakund, at the foot of Giriraj, and there, very humbly, always chanting the holy names of the Lord and meditating on the sweet pastimes of the Lord. So at that time it was not very populated, very sparse, and Madhavendra Puri Pad was just there chanting day and night. One day as he was chanting there, a very beautiful young boy came to him with a pot of milk. And he said, I have brought this for you. Madhavendra Puri is looking. I've heard that you have been fasting and you have not eaten anything. Madhavendra Puri is like, how do you know? Who told you? Madhavendra Puri was confused because he was the kind of person that would never beg for anything. Whatever would come to him, this was what he accepted. He had this mood. Ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nityam yuktanam yogakshemam baham yaham. Krishna says, for one who is surrendered exclusively unto me, I carry what they lack and preserve what they have. So for that person, they have nothing to worry about, nothing to think about. They don't need to ask for anything. They don't ask anyone for anything. Krishna provides it. So Madhavendra Puri Pad was only there, chanting and taking shelter, but this beautiful young boy brought him this pot of milk. And he said, here, you should take this. And when Madhavendra Puri asked, he said, oh, the ladies told me they've seen you here, that you are fasting all day, you have not eaten anything. And he said, but this is my village, no one in my village fasts, so you should take this milk. And Madhavendra Puri was looking at him, thinking, who is this? Because he was so beautiful, so attractive. And Madhavendra Puri Pad was way beyond being attracted to anything of this material world, but he was looking so attractive. And immediately, this young boy recognized that he was taking a little bit of interest, studying, and he said, oh, I'm really busy, I have to go milk cows, I will collect the pot later, see you later. And he took off. Madhavendra Puri was just thinking of that beautiful young boy, and he was with this milk, and he began to drink this milk. And it was like full of ecstatic symptoms, ashta sattvic bhavs. This is no ordinary milk. I have never tasted anything like this before. This is more than heavenly. This is divine. And he was thinking, what is this? What is this? What's going on? That night, he couldn't stop thinking of the beauty of that young boy. And he was very confused. What is it about him that I'm thinking of him like this? And thinking of him, he fell asleep. In the night, as he slept, he had a dream just before morning time. And that boy came to him and he said, my name is Gopal. I am the proprietor of this village. So he revealed who he is. And he said, I am the lifter of Govardhan. Some time before, when the Mlechas, Yavanas, that means the Muslims, were attacking, the pujaris, they kept me in a thicket of thorny bushes. I have not had anything to eat or any bath for a long time. I'm very hot and I'm hungry. I want you to unearth me. And I want you to establish me and serve me. He actually said, I've been waiting for you to come so that you can serve me. So this is Krishna's nature also. He knows the heart of the devotee and he reciprocates by allowing the devotee to serve him, if that is what is pleasing to him. Madhavendra Puri, until that time, was always just absorbed in the holy names. The question comes, isn't that superior to worshipping the deity form? And the answer was given. Actually, the deity form is non-different from the Lord himself. Archa Vigraha. However the Lord wants to be worshipped, through his name, through his form, through his qualities, pastimes, Harikatha, the devotee is ready to serve. So he asked him like that, you should get some men together, unearth me, and establish my worship. Madhavendra Puri woke up from that dream, And at one point he was thinking, oh my God, I saw him, he came to me directly, he gave me milk, and I did not recognize my Lord. But at the same time, he was so happy in his heart. But he came to me and he wanted to engage me in his service. So both moods were there at the same time. A separation mood and a meeting mood, a very happy mood. So immediately he got up, he went and alerted all of the villagers that we are going to rescue Gopal, Giridhari, from the thicket. Very, very dense thicket. He told them to bring spades and shovels and axes and machetes and everything else so that they could go and get him. So many came with him, and gradually they were able to find this beautiful deity of Gopal Giridhari. He's very dark and he's standing like this. That same deity now is known as Sri Nathji, and he's being worshipped in Udaipur? Is it Jodhpur? Udaipur. As Sri Nathji by the Vallabh Sampradaya. So they tried to lift it, but he was so heavy, so it took many men to lift him, and they were carrying him on their shoulders. And they brought him up to the top of Giriraj, of Govardhan. That is where he wanted to be established. And there they placed him on a very large stone. And then they needed to prop him up with a few extra stones, very large stones. He was massive, a very large deity, very heavy. So many of the deities were hidden or moved when the Muslims would come through and attack. And this deity was hidden in the bushes. So many went to Jaipur and Rajasthan, so many other places. There are deities also, one of Vrinda Devi out in Kamyavan. And so many, RadhaRaman, he was hidden in a well. So many deities, they were hidden everywhere. And this one, he told him, I was established originally by Vajranab. Vajranab is the grandson of Krishna who came and established all of these deities in all of the pastime places, but over time it became lost. So, Madhavendra Puri Pad, he oversaw everything. And there, once they established him there, they brought so much water from Manasaganga and other lakes, and they gave elaborate bathing. Again and again and again and again, they were bathing him. And then, Madhavendra Puri Pad had so much of the most fragrant, best quality oils rubbed on his body, it is said, until he was shiny. And then, after bathing him again and again, they made big feast to offer him, because he said, I was so hungry. So first they gave him cooling bath, then they gave him cooling oils, then they gave him so much bhog to eat. And when the news went out, oh, this deity has manifested to Madhavendra Puri, then this village was serving. Then the next one wanted their chance to serve, and the next one, and the next one. So I'm shortening it, for 2 years, every single day, so much seva was being done to this beautiful deity of Gopal Giridhari. One day, after all of that, Madhavendra Puri had a dream. And again, this same Gopal came to him in his dream and told him, I'm still very hot, I'm feeling feverish, I need you, and I want you and only you, to go and collect chandan. But I need this chandan from the Malaya province, that is Orissa Puri, that's where you could get it. So that was quite a distance from Vrindavan. How old was Madhavendra Puri at the time? I'm not sure. Madhavendra Puri is also the guru of Advaita Acharya and of Nityananda Prabhu. Yes. But I don't know exactly at that time how old he was. I haven't heard. So Madhavendra Puri Pad, taking the order of the Lord on his head, he was actually elderly, it was said, decided to follow that order and traverse that long journey. It had to be done on foot. So before going, he established so many persons in charge that you should maintain the service of the deity. And we've seen that our Goswamis, Rup Sanatan, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath, all of our Goswamis also, they had their deities. There was Govindaji, Madan Mohan, there's Gopinath, RadhaRaman, and they entrusted the seva to so many Brahmins who would continue that seva even through their lineages. So you see the line that came, the line of the Brahmins who came after Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He was known as Goswami. Actually, they're coming from the Shandilya Brahmin line, but because they're coming, serving under the guidance or under the order of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, they took that name Goswami. So, Madhavendra Puripad, he went to Orissa, to Puri. On his way to Puri, he stopped in this temple of Indramuna, of Gopinath. And there, when he saw Gopinath, he offered his Dandava Pranam and then danced in ecstasy before the deity. So beautifully, even the pujari was impressed. What kind of ecstasy am I witnessing here? And this Madhavendra Puri, he was completely enraptured by the beauty of Gopinath. And he had heard something. Oh, this Gopinath, they serve him a very special preparation called Amrita Keli. It is unlike any other preparation. It is a kind of sweetened condensed milk sweet that is just amazing, some kind of kheer. So Madhavendra Puri had heard about it, and he desired that maybe I can taste just a little bit so that I will know what it's like, so that I can also make this for my Gopal. But then, feeling that within his heart, he was very disgusted. How dare I think about tasting something before the deity has tasted it? And he left there just kind of condemning himself. And he went out to an open marketplace. Open market means it was a market, but they had already closed for the day. So he was there, and he was just sitting under a tree chanting at some distance. After Thakurji had received their offering, of course the offering is removed, mouths of Thakurji are washed, and then they put the deity to rest. Doors were closed, and the pujaris, they all took their nap. One of those pujaris had a dream when he was taking that nap. Gopinath came to him in his dream and said, "O Pujari ji, I have kept under my cloth one pot of this kheer for my dear devotee, Madhavendra Puri. He is in the market. You should go find him and give it to him immediately." So this pujari woke up so excited, but he was thinking, we cleaned everything out. How is it possible that there could be something left behind? Anyhow, he went and he checked, and hidden underneath the cloth of Gopinath was that pot of Amrita Keli. So that is how that Gopinath became known as Kheer Chor Gopinath. Chor means thief. That Gopinath who stole the kheer for Madhavendra Puri. So this pujari was so excited, he went out to the marketplace. "Will he whose name is Madhavendra Puri please let yourself be known?" "Let me know. Who is Madhavendra Puri?" After some time, he came close and Madhavendra Puri said, "I am Madhavendra Puri. How can I help you?" And then he told him the whole katha, the whole story. So at that time, Madhavendra Puri was feeling very humbled. Oh, Gopinath himself stole the kheer for me. So this pujari gave it to Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri took that kheer and again was experiencing all transcendental ecstatic symptoms. All ashtasattvic bhavs were manifesting on his body. Tears from his eyes and hairs standing on end. Completely enamored with the mercy and the affection of his beloved Lord. And he was so amazed that Gopinath himself had stolen this for him that he decided to keep the pot as well. And he broke that pot into many small pieces and would kind of into like very fine pieces, and also continued to eat that until it was finished. So made it into dust or powder, because also that had been touched directly by the hands of the Lord. So Madhavendra Puripad, he felt, oh my God, wait a second. This pujari had this dream, he brought me the kheer, now he's going to tell other people that Gopinath stole the kheer from me. I don't want this kind of fame. What? Yeah, if it happened to us, we'd be like, guess what happened to me? Gopinath stole kheer from me. Give me the glorification. But no, he wasn't in that mood. I don't want any glorification. I don't want name and fame and all of this thing. I don't want that. It's a disturbance to my bhajan. So immediately, immediately he got up and he left that place and continued on with his seva toward Jagannath Puri. When he arrived there, of course, the Lord loves to glorify his devotees. So the devotee cannot help it. When he arrived there, he offered Dandava Pranam in front of Jagannath, and of course he was dancing in ecstasy, and already his fame was known everywhere. But he couldn't leave there because he was given the order by Gopal to bring the chandan. So he had to tolerate all of the fame and the glorification, which is difficult for any devotee to handle. But if they have to do so in order for them to do their service, then let it be so. As Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada said, if I have to become proud, if I have to become a beast, even if I have to go to hell to carry out the order of my Gurudev who is sent by Krishna, then let me sign a contract to go to hell for even all eternity. Because I know that by even one particle of dust on the feet of my Gurudev, millions of people of this world can be delivered. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada was saying this kind of Guru Nishta, it's bigger, but I'm not going into it deeply. So Madhavendra Puri Pad, he tolerated that, he accepted that, so that he could do his service. So he told of his service, which was to collect this Malaya Chandan. He met with the pujaris, he met with so many, and they arranged everything for him. A large load of very expensive chandan. This is sandalwood. And they also gave him some camphor. In India, they grind chandan and mix some camphor, a little camphor in it. And when it's quite hot out, you see when they grind it, they put the camphor, they take the flowers and on your head, and any breeze, it has a cooling effect, very cooling effect. If the breeze comes, you feel so soothing and cooling. So Madhavendra Puri Pad, very easily, without much difficulty, was able to secure all of this. And because they were controlled substances at the time, in other words, the Muslim government. So it wasn't such an easy thing to bring these things across borders, and there was taxes and what do you call that? What's the tax? Import tax and things like that, right? If someone sends something to us in India and they write the full price on it, once I bought some medicines and it cost me like $50, and I had to spend $50 to get it also, to receive it. It was exactly the same cost to receive it. So I didn't do that again. But at that time there was so many difficulties. But they arranged all of the paperwork. They arranged a servant for him to carry the load because he was somewhat elderly. And Madhavendra Puri Pad, without too much difficulty, was able to cross all of these borders with this chandan and this camphor. Again, they arrived in Remuna at the temple of Gopinath, now known as Kirchor Gopinath. There again, Madhavendra Puri Pad fell in front of Gopinath Ji in pranam and did kirtan, dancing in such a beautiful way. Again and again it's mentioned about his dancing. Then when he took some rest, again he had a dream. Now, this is the fourth dream. We should be careful. If we're not on his level, we should be careful about just trusting our dreams. So many times people have dreams and like, I have this dream, so... But what is our daily activity like? What is our awake activity like? Are we engaging ourselves 100% in the service of the Lord? Are we actually melting with love and affection at every moment for Krishna? Has prema awakened within our hearts? But then we'll trust our dream, and we don't actually act it in our waking hours. This is something that we should consider. But for Madhavendra Puri Pad, he is constantly absorbed in chanting and remembering and worshipping the Lord. And so in his waking hours or in his sleeping hours, he's still always doing that same activity. So the dreams of the pure devotees are real, where our dreams are an illusion within our current illusion. Does that make sense? So Sri Madhavendra Puri Pad had another dream. And this dream, again, his Gopal came to him and told him, I wanted to see you Make this endeavor. Krishna likes this endeavor. But now you should remain there where you are and apply all of that chandan onto Gopinath. And by that, I will be cooled. Gopal told him in the dream. So Madhavendra Puripad remained there in the Remuna until all of that chandan, which took quite a long time, was fully ground down. And it had all been applied to Gopinathji. Does anyone know exactly how much? Maybe at least up to a year. It was quite a long time. And then Madhavendra Puripad continued on. So, this was the story that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told at that time. And of course, Madhavendra Puripad, he had so many disciples. At the time of his departure from this world, there were two main disciples who were present. There was Ishwar Puripad and Ramachandra Puri. Ishwar Puripad was considered the good son, the good disciple, who was always serving his Gurudev in every way, cleaning up, taking care, managing everything, and always speaking Harikatha, reminding his Gurudev of Krishna. That is the good thing to do. Ramachandra Puri was saying, why are you meditating on Krishna? Why are you meditating on all of these? You should be studying or thinking about Brahm. Brahm means the impersonal feature of the absolute truth. You're a sannyasi, so he was giving these kinds of instructions. This was so disturbing to the heart of Madhavendra Puri, whose heart was overflowing, and he was remembering the moods of Srimati Radhika as she's feeling separation from Krishna. Ayi dina dayadranata he kada maturanata kada valokshase. Completely absorbed in these moods of separation that Srimati Radhika is experiencing for Krishna. It is said that Madhavendra Puripad is the Kalpa Vriksha tree, but our Gurudev said he's a special mandri or maidservant of Srimati Radhika. Now, how do you reconcile that? Because of the moods, the bhavs. He had gopi bhav and the moods of Srimati Radhika also. And the maidservants of Srimati Radhika, they have also the semblance of her moods, which is tat tat bhav icchatmika. It's like her own moods. So Madhavendra Puripad was manifesting these kinds of moods. It had never been seen before. And he kicked this Ramachandra Puri out. Get out of here. I don't want you. Your presence here is like hell for me. So the devotee does not want to have this kind of influence near them, especially near the end of their life. There's a prayer by Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he's saying the same thing. He's actually praying, please, my Lord, don't allow this mood of attraction toward the impersonal feature disturb me at the time of my departure from this world. I don't know the exact bhajan, but I remember reading it and thinking, wow, this is actually a big trap. We might think, it's not going to affect me. I'm above and beyond it. But the desire for liberation is not so easy to give up. Our Gurudev would ask us in big class, do you want liberation? And the devotees would say, no, Gurudev. And he would say, you are all saying that, but if I just pinched your little toenail, within a moment you'd be screaming for liberation. So actually the desire for liberation, freedom from suffering, freedom from the entanglement of the birth, disease, old age, and death of samsara in this material world, that's a very attractive prospect. So this Ramachandra Puri was trying to distract his Gurudev. And I'm thinking about that also in terms of nowadays. So many want to just remember Krishna. Death is all around us. It's quite obvious. There's danger around. So instead of bringing people to all of the nonsense of this material world, all of the dualities of this material world, our duty as aspiring devotees or as devotees should be to always help everyone remember Krishna. Chant the names of Krishna. Worship Krishna. Follow the instructions of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Simply that. Whatever Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has ordered, whatever our Guru Varga has ordered, that is our duty to repeat and to share. So, Ishwar Puripad, by his very, very careful, loving and menial service and always sharing Harikatha with his Gurudev, melted the heart of his Gurudev, Sri Madhavendra Puripad, And Madhavendra Puri gave him the full treasure of his heart. What was in his heart? He gave it to Sri Ishwar Puripad. Ramachandra Puri, he rejected him. I don't want you. Get out of here. You're creating a disturbance. You're causing me to have a headache. I don't want to see you. So this is also showing that the devotee should always have this mood of trying to remember Krishna and help others to remember Krishna. And we've seen this with our Gurudev, Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. When Srila Prabhupada was about ready to depart from this world, you can hear it on the cassette, well, now they have it on MP3 and files. Our Gurudev Prabhupada was concerned, what will happen here. There's some fighting, some gundas or mafia was attacking the devotees in Mayapur. There were so many problems. And Gurudev was like, everything will be taken care of. Don't worry for this. Now, they're very qualified. We will do our best to help them. Just remember Krishna. Like this. And it's not, at that time, it's not considered a wrong thing or a bad thing. He was just like, you should be peaceful. They will take care of everything. We will do our best to assist. Everything will be okay. Just peacefully remember Krishna. And then Gurudev told Sheshaya Prabhu to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. And Srila Prabhupada, you can hear him say, huh? And Gurudev says, Sri Rupa Manjari Pada, Seyem Aur Sampara, Seyem Aur Bhajana Pujan. And then Prabhupada said, huh? And then he said, Sri Rupa Manjari Amare Sarvasva. Anyone who knows what that means, is our everything. And he said something, you can't really hear it, but this is the mood of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. And then he has Sheshaya Prabhu sing it, but he tells him, sing it very softly and close to his ear. So our Gurudev was also acting in such a role with our Srila Prabhupada, like Ishwar Puripad was doing with Madhavendra Puripad. So I find that connection very sweet. And so Madhavendra Puripad, through his life, through his service, through his moods, through his entire expression, he's showing perfectly how to serve the Lord and engaging everyone in serving the Lord, but also avoiding the association which is unfavorable for bhakti. Madhavendra Puripad was so humble, at the same time always serving. At the same time the fame was coming to him, but he did not want that fame. He was also willing to undergo extreme hardship for the service of the Lord. And so he's showing through everything complete dedication. And so today we also pray in the lotus feet of Madhavendra Puripad, the grand guru of our Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that he will be merciful to us and bless us, that we can also develop even a particle of that mood within our hearts. Today is also the appearance, celebration of Sri RadhaRaman. RadhaRaman Ju Ki Jai. Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami Ki Jai. Gopal Bhatta Pranadan RadhaRaman Ju Ki Jai. So, without going into a deep history of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, because we speak about that on his day, but today is the day of RadhaRaman. I'll just mention something. Gopal Bhatta Goswami, when Mahaprabhu went to South India, stayed in their home for 4 months of Chaturmasya. And at that time, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, who was the son of Vyankata Bhatta and the nephew of Trimala Bhatta and Prabodhananda Saraswati of Radha Rasa Shuddha Nidhi fame, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, that time, Gopal, his last name was Bhatt, he was able to serve Mahaprabhu in every way, cleaning up after him when he would take prasad, making all arrangements for him. He would accompany him to the river when he would take a bath, and he would hold his clothes for him. He would wash his clothes. He was serving him in every way, and Mahaprabhu was giving him so much mercy. By the influence, of course, of his father and his uncles, he was extremely brilliant. All of the teachings of Ramanujacharya and that Sampradaya, because they were like these main Sampradaya Acharyas. Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad was very, very prominent. They were the leaders of the temple in Sri Rangam. So he learned everything from them. And Mahaprabhu instructed him that Gopal, that he should take care of his parents, and then after that, then he should go to Vrindavan. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami went to Vrindavan, and he was residing there among also the other Goswamis. Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jeev Goswami, Raghunath Das, Raghunath Bhatta, there was Bhugarva Goswami, Lokanath Goswami, so many wonderful transcendental personalities. So, once upon a time, it was actually said that on his way to Vrindavan, he actually went up north. He went to the Himalayas, and there he collected. He wasn't trying to, but when he was bathing in the river, where the shalagrams come from, what's the name of that river? Whoever knows the name of that river, I'm not going to give you a shalagram, but I'm waiting to see. Do you need any? Okay. So as he was bathing there, it was like this shalagram was kind of chasing him and wanted to come with him. And it said that actually he put it down many times and it kept coming in his lota. Like how did he put it back? And it came again. And he realized this shalagram wanted his service. So he took this shalagram. He actually had more than one. There was 11 or 12. Gandaki River. So Sudevi also wins that one. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he came to Vrindavan with this shalagram. So many shalagrams actually. He was worshipping them. Was it 11 or 12 shalagrams? 12 shalagrams. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami had seen Rupa Goswami, he had seen Sanatan Goswami. They welcomed him with so much affection. He is the recipient of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as well. And of course their mood, they're always so happy to see Vaishnavas, to be with Vaishnavas, to discuss with Vaishnavas. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami was so knowledgeable, so learned as well. So through the mercy of Sanatan Goswami and Gopal Bhatta Goswami, we have received our Hari Bhakti Vilas, Sanskar Deepikas, all of everything, all of the rules and regulations for devotion within this Gaudiya Vaishnava lineage. So, we're getting Gandaki River, Mandakini. Mandakini is Ganga. There's Gandaki, there's Kaveri, there's Godavari, there's Ganga, Yamuna, Saraswati, so many different rivers, but I believe it is the Gandaki River where Gopal Bhatta Goswami acquired the Shalagram Shilas. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami was here in Vrindavan, and he used to worship his shalagrams, and then he would tie them in a cloth and hang them in the tree, within the cloth, because of course you don't want any animals or anything disturbing. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami was moving from place to place in Vrindavan to the different pastime places, remembering the sweet pastimes of Krishna and always taking shelter of the holy names of the Lord. Seeing Rupa Goswami with his deity, Govindaji, oh how beautifully he was able to decorate him and dress him. Seeing Sanatan Goswami with his deity, Thakurji, Radha Madan Mohan, how beautiful he was able to dress and decorate them. Gopal Bhatta Goswami felt within his heart, oh, it would be nice if I could also decorate my Thakurji, but there were no arms, no legs, it was only the Shalagram Shila. Very, very needy form of the Lord, you can say. He doesn't have arms and legs, so he accepts that you will do everything for him. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami had this desire in his heart. Something was there. That night he was asleep, and in a dream, he was told, just see how beautiful I am. He woke up and he went to go to his Thakurji, and what happened? From his heart, the most beautiful form manifested. Threefold bending form. Tribhanga, Lalit, RadhaRaman. Shri RadhaRaman Ju Ki Jai. He was overwhelmed with joy. Such a beautiful, sweet form of the Lord had manifested from his Shalagram Shilas. This had manifested from his Shalagram Shila. So RadhaRaman is known as Swayambhu, self-manifest from his Shila. And it's interesting that Narasimhadev manifested yesterday from Shila, from a stone pillar. And today, the next day, RadhaRaman is manifesting from this Shila. Shila means stone. From the stone of Shalagram manifested this beautiful form of RadhaRaman. Gopal Bhatta Goswami was overjoyed. Of course, all Ashtasattvic Bhavs manifesting. He showed Rup Goswami, and they all came to see, and all were completely in awe and so blissful and so happy seeing this beautiful form of RadhaRaman. What did you want to say, Sudevi? I thought you said something. So, from that time, Gopal Bhatta Goswami was worshipping RadhaRaman with love and affection in that specific area near in Nidhuvan. Very, very beautiful, deep moods. Gurudev said, I wonder if I can find it. Oh, I know where it is. Let's see. A-N-U-P. Here are 13 comments, and mine was one of them. Srila Gurudev told on the 26th of October 1996, in Vrindavan one day, Gopal Bhatta Goswami went to RadhaRaman Ghera. So that time it wasn't known necessarily as RadhaRaman Ghera. Maybe it was, because Radha and Raman would meet in that place, and so many beautiful and sweet pastimes would take place near to Sevakunj in the area of Nidhuvan, a very sacred and secret pastime place of Radha and Krishna. There he began to think, how can I serve this shalagram? He wanted to see the Lord's eyes, face and arms, his threefold bending form, and his lotus feet. He wanted to decorate him at the time of Julan, the swing festival. During the night, he was so much worried, thinking, how can I serve him? If he would have a very beautiful threefold bending form and a smiling face with a flute, this would be very, very good for rendering service to him. Then at midnight, the shalagram spoke to him. O Gopal Bhatta, just see how beautiful I am. Oh. Gopal Bhatta got up and went to the deity, and he saw, oh, how beautiful, RadhaRaman, RadhaRaman Ju Ki Jai. So Srila Gurudev spoke that on the 26th of October 1996, which means we were there. I think he told it at RadhaRaman temple that time. So today is the appearance of this beautiful form of RadhaRaman. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, when he first came to Vrindavan, he had been preaching very, very strongly the glories of Vaishnavas, according to the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And of course, there were so many asat or apasampradayas, means those who twisted the teachings of Mahaprabhu and created or concocted new things. So everyone was quite upset with his preaching and teaching, even though it was all verified and verifiable by Shastra, but still it was threatening their positions, their money, their income, and everything else. So every single temple of Vrindavan closed their doors to him and their disciples. Every single one of them. But there was one person, what was his name? Purushottam? One of the Goswamis from RadhaRaman who was close to Bhakti Vinod Thakur, and also had known Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. So he also had a lot of clout, a lot of prestige within the RadhaRaman Goswami lineage, and he was able to basically argue on behalf of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada. And so all of the other temples' doors had closed, every single one of them. But RadhaRaman opened his doors. So when Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada went there with his disciples, there, after offering pranam, he told the devotees, here in RadhaRaman, I see our Tin Thakur. I see Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinath. Sometimes you've heard the feet of Madan Mohan, the torso of Govinda, the face of Gopinath, and sometimes it's said the other way, the torso of Gopinath, the face of Govinda. Anyhow, our three main Thakurs, Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan, within the form of RadhaRaman. And another speciality is that Srimati Radhika is also there inside. So he is complete in himself. And he is one of the most beloved Thakurs of Vrindavan. We would go there every single evening, and everyone's just there calling, like they're pouring their heart out, just singing to RadhaRaman with so much affection. Everyone's there just, they love him so much, and he is so sweet and cute, as you know. But be careful, because he is not just a little boy. He is Govinda, Gopinath, and Madan Mohan. In other words, Bandhu Sange Jarita Varanga Parihas. If you care about all of your worldly connections and maintaining your best friends and all of these relationships in this world, whatever you do, don't come to Vrindavan. And if by some great misfortune you come to Vrindavan, don't go to Keshi Ghat. And if you happen to go there, whatever you do, do not look upon the face of Govinda. Everything will be ruined. You will lose everything. You will forget everything. This is what the gopis are telling each other. And who is that? Govinda, Gopinath, Madan Mohan. All in one form. Everything will be ruined. So, today is the appearance day. Self-manifested. Shri RadhaRaman. Shri RadhaRaman Ju ki Jai. Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami ki Jai. From the heart of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, in order to reciprocate with his devotee, Shri RadhaRaman Ju manifested. So, on that note, very sweet note, we will end today. We have gone over a little bit of time, but thank you for being with me and giving me this opportunity to remember the glories of these divine personalities and this divine personality here, Sri RadhaRaman. So, Srila Gurudev ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Rupanuga Guru Varga ki Jai, Sri RadhaRaman Ju ki Jai, Madhavendra Puri Srinivas Acharya ki Jai, Parameshwari Thakur ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrind ki Jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Jai Jai RadhaRamano Giridhari, Giridhari Shyamo Banwari, Mero RadhaRamano Giridhari. Giridhari Shyamo Banwari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Giridhari Shyamo Banwari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Giridhari Shyamo Banwari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Mero RadhaRamana Giridhari, Giridhari Shyamo Banwari, Giridhari Shyamo Banwari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, my Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Mero Radha Raman Giridhari, Giridhari Shyam Manovari, Mero Radha Raman Giridhari, Giridhari Shyam Manovari, Mero Radha Raman, 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 Mero Radha Raman. Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So we're going to do those birthday blessings again because they weren't really sufficient yesterday, and we felt that they weren't really sufficient. And so the point is to have all of the devotees as much as possible bless. So everyone, please grab your flowers, handfuls of flowers. Let's see them. And again, Yamuna Prasad Prabhu and Krishna Priya Mataji,
Yes.
please take your seats among thousands of Vaishnavas who are present. All Vaishnavas have your flowers ready, gathered together. And we should see that our Srila Gurudev is there leading this blessing. So, for Jamuna Prasad Prabhu from Lithuania and Krishna Priya Mataji, are you ready? Everyone repeat after me. Mangalam Bhavatu.
Mangalam Bhavatu.
Guru Nishta Bhavatu.
Nishta Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Krishna Bhaktir Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
Radha Dasyam Bhavatu.
And Srila Gurudev would say, may you be happy in this life. May you be happy. Huh?
Andreas Jokov, tell him that's who it is. I can't say the name.
Audrius Jokubauskis,
That's
that is
Jamuna
Jamuna
Prasad.
Prasad. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Audrius Jokubauskis. So, Gurudev would say, may you be happy in this life. May you be happy in any future life. May you be happy all the way into perfection forever. So, Jamuna Prasad Prabhu ki jai. Krishna Priya Devi Dasi ki jai. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Gurudeva ki
Jai.
jai. Srila Prabhupada ki
Ki
jai.
jai.
Rupanu Gugoriya Guru Varga ki
Jai.
jai. Sri RadhaRaman Ju ki
Jai.
jai. Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami Pad ki jai. RadhaRaman's Copins ki jai.
Fire Copins.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Rupanu Gugoriya Guru Varga ki jai. Bhavana Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Prem Purushottam Sachinandana Gaura Hari ki jai. Radha Bino Bihari Ju ki jai. RadhaRaman Ju ki jai. Giriraj Maharaj ki jai. Harinama Sankirtana ki jai. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki jai. Shri Madhavendra Puri ki jai. Shri Parameshwari Thakur ki jai. Shri Srinivas Acharya ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri RadhaRaman Ju ki jai. Kali Abhirbha Mahamahotsav ki jai. Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Govinda Damodar Madhaveeti Vinod Bihari Ji ki
Jai.
Shri RadhaRaman Ji ki
Jai.
Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
Shyam.
Gaura Premanande.
Hari Hari
So
Bo.
thank you all very much for being with us today and giving us the opportunity to remember the beautiful teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga, and especially to remember the glories of those divine and transcendental personalities, Parameshwari Thakur, Srinivas Acharya, Madhavendra Puri and Sri RadhaRaman. So thank you for being with us for that and giving us your mercy to allow us to remember their glories, their qualities, their pastimes. Also, we'd like to express our heartfelt indebtedness to each and every one of you for daily giving us the opportunity to follow the order of our Gurudev. Our Guru Seva, what he has given us, is our life and soul, so we cannot express our indebtedness enough to you all. We look forward to being with all of you tomorrow. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Radhe Radhe Hare Krishna. Radha Vinu Bihari Ju Nandana Gaura Hari
Ki Jai.
RadhaRaman Ki
Jai.
Jai. You ready?
Yes. Kal
Chiveriya
Modumani, Astamanyana, Kal Milenge, Tot Morgen, bis Morgen. Radhe, Radhe, Shyam. Happy birthday, Jamuna Prasad.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Krishna Priya Mataji.
Happy
Jamuna
birthday.
Prasad, we miss you so, so much. Love to the family there in Lithuania. Hi, Mom.
Janardan, that poster is in the other room, and we're not ready to show you that room yet, but maybe one day we'll show you the rest of this room.
Radhe, Radhe.